You enter the Ivory Theater from the stage door to see Mr. Burns, a post-electric play in the current staging by R.S. Theatrics. The unusual entry is necessary because Act One is presented with the audience crowded into the area that would normally be backstage. The action takes place at night around a campfire, where a group of people is trying to reconstruct an episode of The Simpsons, the one based on the movie Cape Fear, the 1991 remake starring Robert De Niro, not the 1962 original with Robert Mitchum. Getting the details right could not be more important to this group. When I started telling a friend about the play and how much I enjoyed it, her first comment was, "I don't watch The Simpsons." Neither do I, and I haven't seen either of the Cape Fear movies. But I was drawn into the play by the compelling improvisatory acting by Chuck Brinkley, Rachel Tibbets, Jennifer Theby Quinn, and Will Bonfiglio. They really do convey the struggle of trying to remember something even though they are speaking memorized lines. Rachel Hanks is on stage at this point too, but her character is oddly withdrawn. The first sign that something isn't quite right here. The unmistakable sign is the uproar that greets the arrival of a new character played by Jared Sanzahero. We eventually learn that these characters have survived a global disaster that knocked out the electrical grid. That's why the subtitle calls the play Post-Electric. The title refers to the evil head of the nuclear plant where Homer Simpson works. Reconstructing the Simpsons episode is a coping mechanism for the survivors. We'll learn about other, sadder mechanisms as the characters interact. The fascination of Anne Washburn's script lies in how thoughtfully and thoroughly she has imagined what life would be like for ordinary people after the apocalypse. The audience moves to the seats in the Ivory Theater during the first intermission because Act Two is about a rehearsal on a stage in a theater. 7 years after Act One, the survivors that bonded over remembering Simpsons episodes are now reenacting them. The characters have formed an acting troupe that performs Simpsons episodes for audiences that demand accuracy. Even commercials are highly prized in the post-electric world, so are once common consumer products that can no longer be produced. The competition with other reenactors is fierce, and the need for security is paramount. Rachel Hanks' character has become the put-upon leader of the troupe, and Maggie Winokur is now a member too. The acting style under director Christina Rios is no longer improvisatory, rightly so, because everyone is now an actor. The third act takes place 75 years later. The Cape Fear reenactment has now become a kabuki-like ritual performed to music by Michael Friedman and masks by Scott Schoonover. Fidelity to the original Simpsons episode no longer matters because hardly anyone is still alive who remembers it. Instead, the presentation reflects the realities and aspirations of the new world. The style of the music is eclectic and arresting. Kay Love adds her beautiful voice to the others in the company. The splendid production features musical direction by Leah Luciano, choreography by Cecily Doggeman, fight choreography and sound design by Mark Kelly, sets by Kira Bishop, lighting by Nathan Schrader, costumes by Amy Harrison, and props by Heather Tucker. I think the cast deserves a nomination for Best Ensemble. I just don't know whether the category should be comedy, drama, or musical.
Yeah, quite true. And it's really not until the third act that you get extensive. I mean, that's almost sung through. So let's hear some of Michael Friedman's music there in the third act.
And we just can't get there fast enough. Smoke whipping through the air makes me gasp and stuff. Where the towers were are two pillars of light, and I hear the screams in the lit up night, and I stop in my tracks just like Lot's bike.
What's that, kid? Remain calm.
The darkness blooms with a radiant light. I know in my soul this is a crazy life. Outside